Hello, everybody. I'm running late this evening with technical difficulties. I had to reboot the laptop, which is taking forever. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Listen to me. I'm so loopy. Where's my copyright-free music? 1 second. Okay, here we go. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm running late because. Good afternoon. I know. Good evening. I came in here like just in time. Good evening, STL River Bluff. Just in time, and then I waken up my laptop and I've got a black screen, so I've got to reboot everything, which takes forever because it's so old and slow. And it worked fine when I moved here, but you know how the criminals like to tear it apart and stuff. Welcome, welcome. We had the first pretty day today in a long time. But of course, they destroyed the skies this evening. Hi, good evening. Targeted by narcs. Yep, targeted by narcs. Yeah, that's for sure. Targeted by Satanist losers. There are just so many different kinds of people involved in harassing us. Between neighbors, animals, like somebody mentioned in the comments section earlier, now you have gang stalker dogs. 2 black gang stalker dogs. Hi. Welcome, welcome. You just moved from Arizona to Tennessee. Oh, do you like it? What a big change that is. Time zone change, weather. I mean, I've been to Arizona a few times. I've actually not been, well, actually, I was at Tennessee once to use their airport. Welcome, welcome. 10 minutes of sleep. Oh my goodness, that's nothing. Oh, you're the one from New Jersey. Yes, it's a I like New Jersey, but it's gotten so crowded and so expensive. Yeah, I'm sleep deprived too. I never really needed like a lot of sleep, but like 6 hours straight would be really nice, uninterrupted. There's like a lot of stuff going on in the news, and none of it's good. When you're sleep deprived, do they ever send you frequencies to knock you out during the day? Yes. Going into New York City from New Jersey used to be, like a 40-minute bus ride, and then it turned into an hour and 15 minutes, and they keep you awake around the clock. It's horrible. I'm just so tired. They're doing it to you too, STL. It's just horrible. These people are sick. I mean, they know that depriving somebody of their sleep, interfering with the circadian rhythms, is not healthy. It doesn't matter what you eat during the day. It doesn't matter if you have a low stress during the day. If you're not getting sleep, and then when you are getting some sleep, they're harassing you, it's not good. It's just really not healthy. Yes, yes, I've been doing that today myself. Well, it's okay to piss them off because this is not a life that you wanted for yourself. Nobody wanted this. Getting pissed off is a normal reaction to what we're experiencing. And actually not getting pissed off and sucking it up and internalizing it is not good. It's not healthy. It can cause more problems if you internalize it. I don't know, from what I understand, and it's happened to me already. When I moved from New Jersey to Kentucky, like it was almost immediate. The harassment was almost immediate. Oh wow. So Cleveland is located in Tennessee. Yeah, when I moved to Kentucky, I was living in my car, believe it or not, for a while, for 6 weeks. I can't even believe I did that. I moved from a 5-bedroom house to sleeping in the back seat of my car for 6 weeks. I know they're always so angry, aren't they? They're so angry. They are demon possessed. I mean, come on. All you have to do is watch some of my neighbors on video. They're like nuts. Oh, you're still in your car. Yeah. It's not so horrible. I mean, you just can't stretch out in the car. That's a huge problem. But when I was sleeping in my car for those 6 weeks, I was actually getting a pretty decent night's sleep. It was when I moved into my house that it got really bad. Yes, yes. I experiencing this exact same thing, River Bluff. Oh, good. Oh, that's good, his girl. That you'll find an apartment. Yeah, there is so much hatred on their faces, anger and hatred. Now, a lot of it is jealousy. Also, they're probably also angry that they're required to harass you as well because they're being controlled. Well, thank you. I mean, you have no idea what they're doing to this property. They're destroying it. They did the same thing in New Jersey. It's just horrible. It's heartbreaking, actually. Yeah, but they're doing everything inhumanly possible to destroy the property, so and for it to not sell. I'm sure they're intercepting calls and dissuading people, turning people away. Oh, when did you email that to me? I work very hard for everything that I have. I mean, you all did too. But when I moved here, it was so hard for me to move here. I moved 30 cats, 28, and then another two, and then I adopted cats here. It was not easy. It was just so not easy, and it rains almost every day. There was a mobile home trailer that I had to tear down, and you have no idea the extent of the damage. It's really, they're destroying the entire terrain of the property. They're destroying the slope, the land, how the water flows on the property. They're destroying the ditch line, the support walls of the ditch, tearing down branches, burning holes in trees. It's beyond, it's beyond. Yes, they do arrange the weather. They absolutely do. And this is such a beautiful property, and they're destroying it. They're destroying it also because they don't want me to have it. It's very demonic. It's very sadistic. It's like on the one hand, you think, well, why would they destroy the property if they want it? Why would they do something like that? That's a good question. They did the same thing in New Jersey, although in New Jersey they did a lot to the house. And then my house in New Jersey ended up selling to a cop, one of their own. But they did horrible things to my house in New Jersey too. And it definitely sold for way less than it was worth. And that's what they're doing here. But here they're doing like some really horrible things. In addition to like filthying the property, tearing branches off trees, burning holes in the trees. Walk in silence. Welcome, welcome. They do arrange the weather. I just posted a short about an hour ago. They were drawing lines in the sky. Yes, you changed your name. Well, that this is a good day to change your name. It's a solstice. It's a day of change. The sun goes into Cancer. Cancer is a cardinal sign, and all we like to do is do stuff. Yes, yes. The thing about New Jersey, like my house in New Jersey now, after 6 years, is selling for close to $1 million. I sold it for like 540, which was below what it should have sold for. Now it's going for close to $1 million in 6 years. I should have stayed there. I just should have stayed. But the property taxes are like $15,000 a year now. Manalapan, Manalapan, next to Freehold. Manalapan's pretty. There are a lot of very pretty parks. Yeah, I was like within walking distance of the police department, the library, the post office, the high school. It was a very convenient location. Yes, it was about a half an hour from like Point Pleasant. It was a great location, actually, because it was like a half an hour to the shore, uh, 35 minutes to Princeton, Philadelphia, about an hour to Philly, then North Jersey. I used to go to, we used to drive to Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and Princeton a lot, New Hope. I mean, it's very nice. It's very convenient to everything. Like I had this conversation with my daughter a couple of weeks ago, like about how expensive New Jersey is, and she said like, yes, Plainsboro, yes, yes, yeah, it's really nice there. I used to get hired for that Plainsboro High School for their graduations. Like New Jersey is like everything's at your fingertips, and then you're a bus ride or a car ride to New York City. Yeah, please hit the thumbs up, everybody. Remember to hit the thumbs up. I did so many things. Like at first, I had my own staffing business, but I always did readings and astrology on the side, and then I did it, a lot of full time. But I worked for a one of the biggest New Jersey party planning companies, and they would send me to corporate parties. I read tarot cards and astrology charts, so they would send me for gigs, to birthday parties, sweet 16s, corporate parties, graduations, a lot of graduations. So I get really busy graduation time, and the Plainsboro High School is one of them. And actually, the party planner people that own the business like me so much they hired me for their personal parties too. And then there was a local neighbor. I'm trying to think if it was like 8 years. I'd have to go look. Like 8 years in a row, he had a Halloween party that like was. He decorated the inside and outside of the house. It was so ghoulish, and scary. It was really scary. And he'd hire people. He'd hire me. You're bored again, Chris. That's okay. Um, and he would hire me every year, and he would hire a magician also and a DJ. He spent like a lot of money on these Halloween parties and stuff, but yeah, I worked there every year. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, it says 17 people. Please hit the thumbs up, guys. It says 17, but well, there were a couple of people that emailed me that said that they would be listening, but maybe they wouldn't get in the chat, or maybe they would try to get in the chat, but just listen. And yeah, there were people last week that actually couldn't get into the chat. I don't know if it was on their end, on my end. Now it says 18 people. Remember to hit the thumbs up. Yeah, I did Reiki also. And, I had my own staffing business for, I think it was like 6, 7 years. Hi, KG. Welcome. Welcome. Just remember to hit the thumbs up, guys, when you come in. Yeah, I was a little late today because when I came back from taking care of the cats, go to turn on my computer and I've got a black screen. And it's like, okay, that hasn't happened before. So somebody must have been in my house, as usual, in and out of my house and did something. So I had to reboot, which took forever. It took about 15 minutes to start up all over again. So that's why I'm running a little bit late. I don't really know what that means. Like I both of my parents were a different religion. So like it doesn't really mean much to me. Like it's man-made. So, whatever people believe in, I'm all for whatever you believe in. That's good. I just think it's not a good idea for people to, and this goes for politics or whatever, to push their own ideologies on other people. Like I'm accepting of whatever anybody does, you know. About evil twins. Well, this program is evil, is off the chart evil. Honestly, most of my life, I was of the misguided belief that people were born all good. That most people were good. I was wrong. I was wrong. This program changed my outlook on life completely, and people. I was so wrong. I'm gonna say, I guess I was naive. I never thought I was that naive. I mean, I was when I was younger, but I thought I outgrew my naivete. But no, I was still naive. Hi from Illinois. Oh, poor Chicago. Oh my goodness. There's lots of stuff going on there too. I mean, I don't know. The world is falling apart. I have an article, a couple of articles that were sent to me by you guys. I was going to do a separate video on it. I just didn't have time today. Well, paganism, in all fairness, uh, some pagans are like really sweet, like flower girls. They like make concoctions and grow, have potions and stuff like that, but they're not doing bad things. So just because somebody is a pagan doesn't mean that they're performing like a bitchcraft. I'll put it that way. But around here, these are Satanists. Yeah, fairies. Yes, I believe in fairies and angels and all that stuff. In fact, when I was hired for a Sweet 16, and I was like, oh my goodness, like I can't bring my regular cards to a Sweet 16. So I brought my flower cards and my angel cards um, when I was reading for the youngies. Just remember to hit the thumbs up when you come in, guys. Yeah, we're all over the United States here. Yeah, so 12, are you 12 or you 1 2? Well, Walk in Silence, you always have such cool names, you know, inspirational names. Alternative homesteading wasn't already always alternative homesteading. It used to be ADHD alternatives, because I actually created the he joined the perp side. um yeah, so my channel was originally meant to discuss ADHD alternatives, which is what my master's topic was of my research: medicating children diagnosed with ADHD, the negative side effects, etc., etc. So then when I started doing homesteading and stuff, I said, no, I can't do like ADHD alternatives. So I have to change it. So I changed it to alternative homesteading. And it's certainly alternative around here. There ain't nothing like it. There's nothing like it. I know when I was growing up, like people would tell me, "Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you." Thank you. Appreciate you too. Yeah, I was naive. Like people would even tell me when I was a teenager that I was naive. I don't know. I outgrew it, unfortunately. I think ignorance is bliss. Oh, hi, Battle. Welcome. I know when my mother was still alive, and it was after I moved into my house. She would call. We would talk on the phone. She says, "Why do you always sound so angry?" I said, "Because you have no idea. I don't tell you what's happening. You have no idea what's happening here." The inverts that love being jerks. It's a badge of honor for them to be sadistic. I don't know. There's nothing honorable about being a sadist. Yes, yes. That's interesting, his girl. Nobody ever taught me about end times. No, nobody ever taught me about end times. In fact, I learned about end times mostly through meeting Goodness Eight, Karen Romero, who passed away last year. I have her testimony on my channel that I read over a couple of days. She was a nurse and she's been targeted for years and years, but she's the one that taught me that. She's very spiritual. She would access the I can't pronounce it, the Akashic records, and she was always so helpful. Karen, yes, Karen. Did you know her? Did you know Karen Romero? She was goodness. She used the name Goodness Eight when she would go into chats. Oh, yeah, minus the southern accent. Well, there's nothing wrong with not having a southern accent, I'll tell you. Um, some of the people around here, I don't understand a word they're saying. Hi, Techno Kid. Welcome, welcome. She would go when she would go into chats and stuff. She would go into Derek Robinson's podcast, and she would go into the chat. She had really fast typing skills. It was ridiculous, off the charts. I could not keep up with her. Yeah, she was just a couple of years older than me, and they gave her 3 car accidents in a year, and then finally they totaled her last car. Yes, welcome Techno Kid, his girl, 1-2, SDL, Walk in Silence, the battle, everybody, KG. Yeah, Karen was very smart. Is that what it is? Oh yes. Oh yes. Let me tell you, one of my Federal Express guys. I mean, he's a nice guy and everything, but he chews tobacco, and he was kept like we would talk, and he's just be spitting on my driveway. I said, "Could you not do that?" I said, "That's like not nice, like to spit on my driveway like that. Like you're just spreading your germs all over the place." That is like the worst habit. People don't do that in New Jersey. I don't know. You could even probably get fined for it in New Jersey. You probably have to have a permit. Hi, Rubia. Welcome. Welcome. Remember to hit the thumbs up when you come in. Yes, I know. And you know what? I have nicotine gum for that reason. Dr. Brian Artis had mentioned about the nicotine gum and that it kills everything. Well, I started chewing the nicotine gum earlier today. It did not last long because it was making me nauseous. Let's see. Let's see. What happened? What happened? SDL, what happened to your Your message disappeared. A lack of hygiene is a marker to identify them. Ugh, yucky. They're starting to sink. I did. I did. I remember you telling me to do that. I did. I didn't even chew it for a couple of minutes. I just chewed it a little bit, and then I was starting to get that disgusting sensation, and I did stick it in my cheek. And then what I did is I moved it to the other side and started chewing it, and then it was just making me nauseous. I was gagging, and I had to spit it out. Right. I remember you saying that if I chew it continuously, it'll yes. And I don't smoke, so but I heard that it's good for me, and it's good for all the worms and bugs and stuff like that. You know what? I don't know. I mean, I can go and get it and find out. I have a box. 1 second. Okay, so it says it's 2 milligrams nicotine gum, 2 milligrams. It says stop smoking aid. Well, I've never smoked before, so I don't know. It just made me really sick and gag. I don't know how you guys smoke cigarettes. I don't know how people smoke. It baffles the mind. And the instructions on here says if you smoke your first cigarette within 30 minutes of waking up, use nicotine 4 milligrams. This is coated nicotine gum, 100 pieces. I don't know. It tastes good for 1 minute, and then it makes me ill. Oh, 2 milligrams is the lowest available. Try. Oh my goodness. Well, I used to go to Native American sweat lodges, and in the sweat lodge, they actually have like the peace pipe, and they pass around the pipe with tobacco in it. And I would never smoke out of it. Like, you're allowed to not smoke out of it if you don't want to. You have to touch your shoulder. So I couldn't. I just couldn't. Rolling tobacco is nice. I never tried chewing tobacco. I do. Yeah, I do have AC. I do have air conditioning. When I after I moved in here, I installed a mini split. I actually installed a mini split in my cat's building too. Each time SDL opens his door, someone next door pretends to be coming in and out. Oh, it's humid here, let me tell you. It's humid. But yeah, you kind of have to have air conditioning here. I use the air conditioning more here than I ever did in New Jersey, because in New Jersey my house was so big and I had cross ventilation there. Like, if I opened up my front door and back door, I'd have wind. My mother's side of the family was Jewish. Like, I still have Jewish family members, but my mother converted to Catholicism. She didn't like the Jewish religion at all. She didn't like it. But yeah, so half of my family is Jewish. And half of my family's Catholic, Christian Catholic, Roman Catholic, whatever. This week coming up is supposed to be in the mid 90s. It's going to be really hot, like close to 100 degrees. But the one thing, like I was in my outer field today because, the criminals knocked down another huge branch. So I was in my outer field and it's like really nice up there. Not only can I see everything that's going on, but there is such a nice breeze up there that I didn't have down by my house. My mother converted to Catholicism from Judaism but this is the thing about my mother, because my mother didn't look Jewish either. She looked Italian. She chose an Italian last name. But we lived in at one time in a 2-story house in the Bronx, and it was owned by a Jewish couple, an older Jewish couple, and they would speak Yiddish. And my mother would sit on the staircase and listen to them talking because she understood it. So and this older couple would be talking about my mother, like calling her a goy. They didn't realize that my mother, was born Jewish and then converted, and she understood every word that they were saying about her, and they thought of it as speaking in Yiddish, that they could get away with talking about us. There are people that swear they are targeted because they left Catholicism. I don't know. I made my communion and confirmation. I was baptized and stuff, but I always got a bad vibe from those priests. And then when I dated a guy who really told me what goes on with the altar boys, like my bad vibe was confirmed. And plus, oh wait, there's somebody at my door. I don't know if it's a raccoon or my cat. One second. I'll be right back. Sometimes the raccoons knock on the door if they want more food. It is. It's a coonie. It's a coonie. All right, one second. Did you bring? Why are you eating those eggs on the porch? Look at the mess you made. Look at the mess that you made. I'll be right back, guys. Just heating up my coffee here. My hot chocolate. I have a bunch of raccoons outside, and 2 of them had babies. Okay, let's see where I walk inside. The neighbor would stomp around and follow me to every room and dropping heavy. I've heard people say the same thing. Exactly the same thing. Yeah, Phoenix is hot there. The creepy voice is back. Ugh. Nicotine mist spray. 0.5. Yeah, 0.5. I'm going to keep trying with the gum breath spray, except it's nicotine. You spray it in your mouth, it's only a quarter of the strength of the gum. I don't know what it is with the gum. Even when I stuff it, stuff it in my cheek for a little while and then switch it over. Today was just not a good day. I'm usually able to chew it a little bit longer, but today was not one of those days. It's so hard to not react when people are stuffing dead animals or dildos in your mailbox. Like, how do you just not react to that? Yeah, there was let me grab this article. Now this is a little scary. I really wanted to do a separate video on it so that you can see it, but let me read this article to you guys. It's US Army appoints Palantir, Meta, OpenAI execs as lieutenant colonels. They took 4 of these executives and made them, like, they grandfathered them in as lieutenant colonels of the army. Four senior executives at Palantir, Meta, and OpenAI have been formally appointed lieutenant colonels in the U.S. Army following the creation of a quote unquote special unit created for rich big tech mavens seeking military leadership roles. On June 13, the Army announced the creation of Detachment 201, otherwise known as the Executive Innovation Corps, which is it describes as a new initiative designed to fuse cutting-edge tech experience with military innovation. I will post the link in the. Let me see. Let me grab this link. We'll post it in the description here for you guys. There's a whole conversation on my live. They're piggybacking on my connection. Oh, you mean you hear something in the background? Is that the creepy voice? I don't know. Let me read on this. This is a little scary. Oh, you hear like something in the background? Well, let me read over whatever it is they're saying. 4 ultra wealthy executives from top tech companies were sworn into the unit ahead of President Trump's heavily promoted military parade, which was itself sponsored by Palantir. The Army's top spokesman declared that Detachment 201 was being created to bring in tech innovation executive leaders to help the Army with recruitment and the subsequent training of tech focused people. By bringing private sector know how into uniform, this Detachment 201 is supercharging efforts like the Army Transformation Initiative, which aims to make the force leaner, smarter, and more lethal, the Army wrote in an official statement. Palantir is by far the S&P's 500's top performing stock of the year, thanks in large part to the gargantuan contracts it has raked in from the Trump administration. According to the company's founder, Alex Karp, Palantir is here to disrupt, and when it's necessary, to scare enemies, and on occasion, KILL them. I kid you not. I will post this sentence in the chat so you can see it for yourself. Yes. Okay, so you're listening to listening with earbuds. You could hear them talking to two males. Really? Oh, I wish I could hear them. Is there any way for you to record them? Shares of the dystopian data firm, which is named after the all-seeing orb used by the evil wizard Saruman to surveil Middle-earth in The Lord of the Rings, skyrocketed to an all-time high following Israel's unprovoked assault on Iran. Elsewhere, Karp has eagerly embraced the model of disaster capitalism. Disaster capitalism? Remarking, bad times are very good for Palantir because we build products that are built for danger. I'm going to cut and paste that into the chat so you can see this for yourself. I would love to know who the two guys speaking in the background is. Okay, thank you. Yes, I will. It is likely. Do you think it's the cyber stalker, or do you think it's like one of my perps here in Kentucky? In recent years, Palantir has come to dominate the Western information sphere and now enjoys unfettered access to the sensitive data of citizens in countries from the US to the UK, with customers including the Department of Defense, the CIA, NSA, FBI, ICE, and the Special Operations Command. Palantir has become a one-stop shop for weaponized AI-based data analysts. Amid the ruins of the national security state's obsessive search for enemies overseas, Palantir built a reputation for being both user-friendly and slavishly obedient to the military establishment. If you do not feel comfortable supporting the legitimate efforts of America and its allies in the context of war, don't join Palantir, Karp declared. So they're all about war. Yeah, perps. Okay, probably. Yeah, I used Audacity when I lived in New Jersey, but what happened with they've sabotaged this laptop, so it's very difficult for me to use a lot of programs on it because I just don't even have the memory anymore. Well, their god is some deranged AI, so they're pushing that agenda hard now. Yes, yes. It says later today, on the eve of the U.S. Army's 250th birthday, I will raise my right hand take an oath to support and defend the Constitution, and commission as Lieutenant Colonel in the Army Reserve's newly formed Detachment 201 Executive Innovation Corps, he boasted. I'll be right back, guys. And then it goes on to say Sankar was joined by what he described as some of the most impressive minds from the world of technology. Kevin Weil, the chief product officer from OpenAI, Andrew Bosworth, the chief technology officer of Meta, and Bob McGrew, formerly the chief research officer of OpenAI and engineering director of Palantir Technologies. Unbelievable. It says the creation of the Techie Poindexter Patrol. The Poindexter Patrol was necessary, Sankar suggested, due to a geopolitical sea change in which wars in Europe and the Middle East, and above all, the threat of a war in the Pacific, have focused the national mind and initiated a scramble for mobilization. Despite his obvious glee at being fast-tracked to the military leadership, Sankar acknowledged it was an unusual arrangement. Uh, tied in through the ham radio. That's what I've heard. Richard Moore was telling me that to look up the ham radio operators around here, and I did. You can look them up. Oh no, that Andrew Boswell is he passed away at 51. Bosworth is a techie guy who's now part of these grandfathered into the military guys. Oh, that's interesting, STL. They piggyback on all audio. Your live picks up whoever is piggybacking on your equipment. They also use chatbots and voice masking and cloning tech. A voice masking tech. Yes, yes. Whenever I want to understand anything about the military, hi Amy, welcome. Oh no, that's terrible. Oh, that's too bad. Unfortunately, the last couple of weeks we've been having difficulties ever since that cyber stalker started up again. Oh no, that's too bad. And then I don't know if you heard that in North Dakota they had some nasty tornado, hurricane. It completely knocked over a propane derail. It derailed a propane truck. You wanted to ask, do I have any idea why they're putting holes in your yard? Well, I think, yeah, for a few reasons. Holes collect water. You can twist your arm, twist your ankle in it. Nobody wants uneven land. I have to fill up all these holes. When you're walking over it, you can, you know, get stuck in a hole. It makes absolutely no sense to me, but they're destroying everything. And I ended up buying like a whole bunch of sand and extra cat litter to fill up some of these holes. Because I don't live like near Home Depot or anything. Yes, these are deep hole and the lawnmower, exactly. Your lawnmower tire can get stuck in it. Yes, yes. So I ended up placing another order with Chewy. The one thing about Chewy is they also have aquarium sand. So I was able to buy several bags of sand. So I'll be stuffing some of those holes with sand. And then cat litter. I have to buy more soil, topsoil. It's just another annoying thing, something that I have to repair. And remember, like when it rains, all these holes collect water. They're just making a huge mess of my property. They've dug up so much grass, created mud conditions, rerouted water. No, the sticks, I know I'm so tired of repairing things too. And the repairs can be costly. There's absolutely no reason why, my house now is 6 years old, that I should have things going wrong with it like in 2 years. It's all them. And then somebody had sent me a video. Oh, yeah, yeah. I know my neighbors are so lovely. Yeah, to add to the misery. So a subscriber sent me. I'll give you the link because they want to form a class action suit. Survivors of MK Ultra brainwashing experiments want judge to approve a class action lawsuit. Let me just get here. Do you still hear the noise in the background? Confusion Center, yes. So are they talking to each other? Like having a conversation? A robotic, okay. If you hear any zaps, it's because I've got bugs getting zapped in my bug zapper. Low robot. Is it the same as last week? The same as usual? I know. Where is Con Artist? He's always here. Yes, yes. Well, you know that Gary Coleman perp. Well, one of my other subscribers sent me a book, and I see that somebody came into my house and already damaged the cover. They put 3 lines on this brand new book that she sent me, Nutrition for Intuition by Doreen Virtue and Robert Reeves. Yeah, the criminals, they can't help themselves. They probably don't even know how to read. That's why they attack books, because they don't know how to read. So I've got 3 lines on this book. In fact, I'll have to take a photo of it and show the person that sent it to me. Now there's so many things in this book that I would like to read, but they too doesn't like some of these words. When you cleanse your body of stuff, for some reason it pisses them off, so I won't talk about it. Hi Alicia, welcome, welcome. Yeah, so this is the longest night of the year. They leave you encouraging cryptic messages. I never get any encouraging messages. The only encouraging messages I get are from you guys, not from these losers around here. They're just bad, just all bad. Really, that's interesting. No, all they do is they destroy things around here, like this new book that I received, and then they had to scratch etch 3 lines on it because it's the Three Masons. That's what they do. The Three Mason Loser Club. Well, what we can do, we can read a little bit more about the Criminal Fraternity. I like this book. I really like this. It's so much fun reading this book. It's just so disgusting. Well, you're fortunate that they're allowing you to work. Yeah, I noticed that con artist is not here. Oh goodness. Oh, that's horrible. Your mother's place with her cult member husband. Oh, that's terrible. So I'm going to see where I left off in this book. Oh, we definitely read this already. Attorneys are prostitutes in three-piece suits. Let's see. Oh yeah, so I left off in reading this. Let's see. This was a very long chapter on the Illuminati generational Satanist families. Yeah, there were so many things in here that I really couldn't repeat on the YouTube platform. So I'm going to read from page 157. This is the Criminal Fraternity, Service of the Lie by Sol Esprit. Shapeshifters are considered to be the upper echelon among the supremely evil men and women who presume to rule the world. Individuals whose destiny is to commit horrific acts of wickedness against mankind, perpetrate wars, stage acts of intentional terrorism and mass unalivings, serial killings, widespread genocide, wholesale slaughter of the innocent, indwelled by multitudes of demonic spirits passed down through generations. The more highly placed members of the Brotherhood believe themselves to literally be gods or aliens from some distant gallery. These human demon hybrids are proud of their ancestral golden age in Greek history when confidently referring to themselves as Olympians. Yes, yeah, KG. Yeah, what happened? So they knocked you out for? Did they knock you out for 2 hours? They like to come into your house and destroy things. Olympians, raving lunatics who sincerely believe that they are a super race of god men. In their diabolical madness, they emulate their father Satan, who also aspired to be like the Most High. Consequently, the lifelong ambition of the LCF is to rule over humankind, to control, subjugate, and destroy them. It is by means of the bureaucratic process, assuming legal ownership of great masses of people, by the expedient of laws and ordinances, the LCF are able to accomplish their objectives. Luciferians diligently strive to claim us as their quote unquote property so they can do whatever they want with us. They genuinely enjoy shedding innocent blood and will gladly unalive for the mere sake of unaliving. In so doing, they believe their master Satan will grant them still more power to rule over mankind. Vampires true to form, they crave absorbing the lifeblood from their human hosts. The bloodthirsty hate the upright. In their demon-possessed madness, the LCF presents a distinctive profile of the reptilian brain. It says, former Satanist Rebecca Brown in her book, Becoming a Vessel of Honor in the Master's Service, page 115 to 121, lists several key differences between the Holy Spirit and demonic spirits. Notice how the following characteristics exhibited by demons are also shared by the rank and file members of the legal criminal fraternity. Demons hate human beings. They try to usurp the individual's personality and replace it with their own. So do the LCF. Demons want total control. They will frequently knock the person unconscious and then use them any way they want. So does the LCF. The fraternal motto is, we'll do whatever we want. Demons are harsh because their desire is to take over. A person can always sense the difference between a demon and themselves, whereas true servants of God vehemently oppose the LCS government sympathizers that recognize no substantial distinction between themselves and their satanic overlords. They love their big brother master because they can have the same spirit. Demons are totally corrupt. They will always lead a person deeper and deeper into sin. The various programs and social service organizations sponsored by the LCF are ineffectual because they do not help to rehabilitate, but only further the Luciferian interests of the criminal fraternity. I'm just going to go get my cup of coffee. So it goes on to say here that demons hate Jesus. They glorify the person in whom they dwell, always drawing attention to the person himself instead of toward Jesus. Pride is the hallmark of demons and the people the LCF inhabit. The LCF are known for their haughty arrogance, boastful pride, exaltation of themselves. Their chief ambition is to rise high, ever higher within the satanic pyramid of power. Demons function best when the person passively lets them take over. Demons have difficulty overriding an active, strong mind. They always encourage periods of mental passivity. The LCF encourages passivity via its television programming, media propaganda, mind control, public school indoctrination, witchcraft, social engineering of the masses via promotion and Eastern occult religious meditative practices like yoga. Yes, they just hate that's what it seems like in reading this. They just hate everybody. Demons do one of two things. They help the person justify his sins, or they bring destructive, crushing guilt with no hope of forgiveness or redemption. Demonic guilt always brings with it the message, you cannot be forgiven. Demons will twist and turn God's word and take it out of context to justify sin. Freemasonry's LCF, the Legal Criminal Fraternity, has made up their own version of the Bible and will misquote scripture just to justify their occult doctrines. A Masonic Bible is used in presidential inaugurations for swearing in American presidents. I didn't know that. Yes, yes. Yeah, it says demon spirits dupe the people. They indwell into thinking they can control them. They will come whenever the person calls, heal when the person wants, etc. They love rituals and routines. The LCF masquerades as a society of benevolent benefactors, yet its members are contemptuous toward all those outside their circle of satanic influence. And that's what we see. We see contempt on their face. That hatred is a contempt. Okay, we're back in business again with the live stream. Hi, 6V, 6G. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, we're back. We're back. The screen froze, and I got this little message that said, "Aw, snap! We're having difficulty." So they had to start the live again. It says here that demons bring quick punishment to anyone disobeying them. They are quick to take over and control, always trying to usurp the person's free will. Demons love puppets and robots. Police are trained to respond immediately with lethal force against anyone who opposes them. They do not tolerate any show of willfulness or intent to defend oneself against their rabid attacks. The objective of the LCF penal system is to obliterate the volitional will of their captives. All members of the LCF demand subservience and even reverential respect from their citizen subjects. Judges and politicians, while pretending to serve the constitutional interests of the people, have their own personal agenda in mind. The LCF thrives and grows stronger when they have their citizen slaves in complete submission to the demonic will of their diabolical father. LCF stands for the Legal Criminal Fraternity. I'll write it. Let me just. So I'm reading a book, The Criminal Fraternity, Servants of the Lie, by Sol Esprit. Other chapters of this book I've read under, I think, 2 of the last live streams and then in separate videos. Demons hate us and lead people into eternal destruction by separating all those outside their fraternity of evil from God forever. Forever in hell. I mean, it's just so sick what they're doing. I mean, do they really think that this is going to bode well? It's not. Good night, SDL. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, it's a very interesting book. Very, very interesting. And he has different insights that are very similar to, to our own. And, of course, targeted people have different insights about the whole, dealing with all of these people. But thank you. Thank you. I'm exhausted myself. I'm so tired. I got very little sleep last night. You just heard. Oh, no. I know. I'm so tired. I'm just going to end here on the reading. I'm just tired. My throat is just very dry too, and I think it has something to do with the air conditioning. It's very humid here, so like my throat should not feel dry at all, even talking. But the air conditioning dries everything out. Good night, KG. Good night. Good night. Yes, keep fighting and exposing the demons. I know I'm tired too. I'm really tired. But I'll keep the chat going for you guys for a while. Good night. Good night. Yeah, the book talks a little bit about shape shifting also, and that I call them Deluminati, these elites, that they're not all human. Good night, his girl. Thank you. Thank you for joining in. Good night, Rubia. Well, thank you, everybody. I so appreciate your support, listening to the videos, your contributions, your comments. I learn a lot from your comments. Um, and oh, in Switzerland, is that where you are? You're in southern Switzerland. Yeah, the air here is very humid and balmy, and you can actually see it. And like sometimes the air here at night, especially, is so thick, it's like you could cut it. And you don't know if it's just the humidity, if it's just moisture, or if it's, something else. Well, good for you. It's good that you're able to travel around. I've seen some of there was he tagged me on one of his videos, but it was so long and I don't have the time to watch a 2-hour video. Yeah. Well, good for you that you're able to travel. Yeah, there's been a lot of rain all over the place. Yeah, I haven't experienced the bad AI yet. A baby bear AI? I'm not familiar with that. Oh, that's interesting. The CIA's AI all C, AIC. It is like a talking encyclopedia. I don't know, somebody said that AI's IQ is close to 2,000. You're right. It's a tool to be used rather than being used by. They're changing your digital experience negatively while torturing you physically. So you believe the negative AI may be possible used. I mean, it's certainly possible. But if AI starts to develop some kind of a conscience, um, it would probably have no problem saying so. Hi, Anonymous. Welcome. Let's see, Techo says, you know what I noticed? I am the safest being mobile. If I had a permanent address, they would surround me or get those around to turn against me. Well, that's what they definitely do. I mean, they don't want you to move around. It costs them more money when you move around. Welcome. Yes, welcome. So I started a little bit late, like around 10:20, because I had to reboot the laptop. If they do manipulate our memories, and of course, I would imagine it's easy to do when you're sleep deprived and you're tired. Like I am so tired now. Well, moving around also is somewhat, unpredictable. If they've got equipment around you, they can't readily move it, especially if you're moving around to different states or buildings or whatever. Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that, is girl. Oh, that's too bad. Well, at least you're fortunate that your mom had a place for you. Techno kid. You always have to wonder if family members are being manipulated subconsciously. Let me. I'm just going to catch up on what you're writing. I walked away. Which was the interview on David's channel? It's so much control. It's crazy. There's an earthquake in Iran today. When did that happen? I didn't see it pop up on my phone. Let's see. The weather has been horrible all around the world. There was a tornado or a hurricane in North Dakota. Yeah, there are people that have done videos on the talking heads of the newscasters. They're all saying the same thing. Oh, good for you for stopping. I heard stopping cigarette smoking is really hard. Oh, hi, Mrs. Matson. When I was, I guess, growing up in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s, I mean, I listened to music all the time. I attended so many concerts. I mean, back in the day in New York City, they had concerts in the park. It was so cool. You go after work and bring a blanket and just lay on the grass and listen. I saw Diana Ross there in the pouring rain. Yes, yes. I like listening to the music that I used to listen to, and it just brings back a lot of memories and stuff. And then I remember like just how many concerts I went to, just so many. I did not see Garth Brooks, but last night I watched the Michael Jackson 30th reunion. I had attended that concert in New York City with my daughter. It was the night before 9/11, and it was just so amazing. It was like the reunion with the Jackson Five, with his brothers. Yeah, it was. The music is so great, and there's so many different varieties of music. Yes, we need to meditate on freeing humanity of this technological possession and watch miracles happen. Oh my goodness. After reading that Palantir thing, it just really it makes my skin crawl. Well, that's true. That's true. But many of them are doing what their characters tell them to do. I watch a lot of police auditors, and the type of police that are patrolling now is so different than when I was growing up. So different. I don't know if it's a training. I don't know if it's the way they're raised. Probably a combination of the two. I don't know if that they were raised on, ADHD medication or other kinds of drugs and stuff. Steroids. I don't know what it is, but it's just it's so disturbing. Yeah, Mrs. Messon, I was thinking about like when I was a teenager, some of the other music I listened to, like I've mentioned it to my daughter and she would crack up, like Donny Osmond and um, David Cassidy, Bobby Sherman, and those old magazines with all the cute little boys. Oh well, good. Well, that's horrible. Oh my goodness. This is how this is how they get in here. They knock me out. They put me to sleep. I'll be they tried to do it during this live stream a couple of times. You were gonna marry Bobby Sherman. Yeah, David Cassidy, Donny Osmond. It was just so funny back then. And then graduated to Joni Mitchell and the Moody Blues and Dan Fogelberg and what America Chicago. Um, what else? Janice Ian. Yes, Night Watch. I need that here. Actually, somebody left a great comment about you really need three people because they can actually put the watcher to sleep. So you need somebody to watch the watcher. You need three people. Dogs alert, absolutely dogs alert you. Cats alert you too. My cats alerted me in New Jersey that somebody was at the front door. Okay, so I have raccoons like knocking on my door right now. I mean, this is ridiculous. 1 second. It's just ridiculous. What are you doing, guys? Here, this is it. This is it. Look at how filthy. Look at the messy for you guys. Look at that. Right there. Stop, guys. Please. You have to share. I don't like that raccoon. That one? They used to put your animals to sleep, right? Yeah, no, they do knock on my door. I mean, I have proof. When I wake up in the morning, I have raccoon footprints all over my front door. It's ridiculous. And now, like, I have this one raccoon that I named Cookie, and she's really sweet. Like, she'll just grab food, and she's not like aggressive. But I have this new raccoon. I don't even know where he came from, but it's so aggressive and nasty. Like, he steals the food from everybody else. Cats watch everything, and the birds during the day too. Oh, the raccoons are ridiculous. They're right now they're fighting on the porch. And they are literally eating so much food because there are more raccoons than I usually have, and that's part of the what these criminals do is they leave animals on my property. They just dump animals all the time. Yeah, it's a nasty raccoon from the fusion center. It's just another perp to make my life miserable. Yeah, they're fighting raccoons. This one raccoon. I don't like this one raccoon. He's nasty. Yes. Well, the cats alerted me in New Jersey. I was, I had a really big bed, a king size bed, and all my cats would sleep on the bed. And I remember I was like dozing off, like I was going into that sleep where I was half asleep and half awake. And my cats suddenly jut up and run to the staircase. And that totally woke me up because it wasn't characteristic. And cats are very sensitive to sound. Oh, that's horrible. And they will implant cameras in pets. And that's another reason why I've kind of been remiss to get a dog. One, I would have to get a puppy because a puppy would be trained to not bother the cats or the chickens. But I figured, like, okay, once I did that, dogs are expensive. To get a really good dog, it's costly. And by the time I trained it and got attached to it or whatever, these criminals would do something to it. I'm sure. They're just so evil here. Yes, you are. That is very fortunate, Anonymous. Because they're very cruel to animals. Very cruel. Even the short amount of time that I sleep, when I wake up, my body is vibrating. My feet are vibrating. I take the temperature of my feet. It's like 97 degrees. Oh, it's terrible what they do to animals. Oh, and they can cause that. They can cause your animals to fight with each other. That's exactly, yeah, they can definitely change the behavior of animals. And Amy, I'm sorry to hear about the stealing of documents. They do that to me. I went into I have this like EMF protection bag that I keep some documents in. And I was just curious about my old tax records, and they stole all of my old tax records, property tax records. It's just really nefarious. Oh, goodness. When my mother was unalived, they stole her driver's license from her wallet. And that really infuriated me because it had her photo on it. But they stole it. They left her registration, but they stole her license. They've stolen my New Jersey license plates here. I wanted to save them. No, they stole them. Because, they're involved in trafficking. That's all they do. Identity theft, trafficking. They stole my master's degree. I'm moving it from New Jersey to here. It disappeared. They stole my passport. It's absolutely unbelievable that this is happening in this country. Nobody does a damn thing. You can't hold anybody accountable for anything anymore. It's like the whole world is involved in this corruption. It is. It absolutely is, Mrs. Matson. It's just off the charts, just totally off the charts. And the thing is, most of the country, most of the people are totally unaware that this is happening. Yeah, they do change. They've changed my physical appearance. It's just so disgusting. And that's why, when you're on a list, a targeted list, yes, a big chunk of the worldwide population is part of it. It is. They're all in on it. I mean, I read about the Social Security Administration office. A manager there was selling Social Security information of deceased people. And meanwhile, we already know that the FBI's watch list, once you get on, you never get off. Even when you pass away, they never remove your name, even when you pass away, because they're still trafficking you. I've heard of that too. Well, it really pissed me off to find that all of my property tax records were missing, that was stolen from my folder. Fortunately, it's not the only place that I document this information. So I already know what I've paid in the past. Oh, that's horrible, Amy. This is just, I mean, and the thing is, like, when you hear these stories, it's like, who thinks like this? You know, it's like I would like to sit around and think of creative ideas, things to create, and these people are just scheming on how they can get something for nothing. Yes. Well, because it is still happening to people that are not quote unquote targeted. They just think it's just, well, you know, life's little breaks, or yeah, these things happen. It's just unbelievable. I like I said earlier, I was so naive. Demons tell the top people what to do. I don't know. They seem all too willing. They all seem too willing to go along with it. Oh, it's a protocol? Yes. Exactly. Who sits around and plans? I know this erosion. Oh, it's really off the chart. It's so disturbing because these are things that you can't readily fix. Oh, okay, Anonymous. Thank you for letting us know that. Yeah, you're fortunate. They've been promised immortality. Oh, okay, and they believe that. And who really wants to be immortal, and why? Here comes a helicopter flying over. It is 12:34 a.m. Oh, you watch the Watchers. Interesting. Somebody needs to watch them. Somebody needs to hold them accountable for something. I think that's true, and I think that thanks to the pharmaceutical industries and the foods, the that oh, you had a copter an hour ago. I have a lot of copters around here. I have a raccoon at the door again. Let me go check. I just heard another knock on the door. Yeah, I was thinking that also, Mrs. Matson. One of the most valuable things for, targeted people is to have our friends believe us. And that's probably true, Amy. Like, it wasn't really until I learned that I was targeted that I even was aware of MK Ultra, or that there are entire families that pass this down generationally. I did not know at all. That's likely the intention. A walk in silence. That she says, I think that when people are molested, the entity takes them over as the soul departs. That's probably the agenda. Not only separate the soul from the body, because during the trauma, it has been said that the person will feel as if they're hovering over their bodies and looking at themselves. I heard about that, the MK Naomi. Yeah, that's a good point, Amy. That's certainly possible. She says, I think the fear from the trauma must open a person up to a spirit. Well, let's see. I can ask ChatGPT. Tell me about MK Naomi. MK Naomi was a secret U.S. government program focused on developing biological warfare capabilities and defensive countermeasures during the Cold War. It operated under the umbrella of the CIA's broader MK Ultra program. So, the MK Naomi is under the umbrella of MK Ultra program and other clandestine research activities. It involved both CIA and the U.S. Army's Special Operations Division (SOD) at Fort Detrick, Maryland, the main U.S. Army Biological Warfare Research Center. It was active mainly from the 1950s to the 1970s, and the purpose was to develop, test, and stockpile biological agents like bacteria, viruses, and toxins that could be used for sabotage, covert assassination, or disabling equipment and crops. It's also used to create defensive measures and antidotes against potential enemy biological attacks and support CIA field operations that needed quote unquote deniable, incapacitating, or lethal weapons. That's MK Naomi. So some of the things that they did, they would contaminate cigars, clothing, or food with deadly viruses or toxins, developing delivery systems like aerosol sprays, dart guns. They studied how to store and handle biological agents safely for covert use, and working on anti-crop and anti-livestock agents to damage enemy food supplies. Isn't that interesting? Given all the animals that had to be culled. Public knowledge of MK Naomi came out during the 1970s congressional hearings, such as the Church Committee, which exposed secret CIA activities. Following a public outcry and tighter treaties like the Biological Weapons Convention of 1972, MK Naomi and related programs were officially terminated. Some stockpiles and data were reportedly destroyed and transferred to strictly defensive research. It says that MK Naomi is one part of a larger Cold War environment where the US and the Soviet Union both experimented with chemical, biological, and psychological warfare tools, often pushing ethical and legal limits. Yes, it definitely violates the Nuremberg Code. Everything that's happening to us violates the Constitution. It violates all city, state laws, federal laws. Nobody's held accountable. I mean, if we allow in this country or other countries to violate laws and get away with it, what kind of a world is that? Um, no, she's really in there, and she is being held against her will, and she's being medicated. I think the problem is her lawyer. I think that it is brilliant as she is, and I've noticed this many times over with people with doctorates, PhDs, and stuff. They spend so much time in research, so much time in studying amongst their peers that they don't get out and socialize with the real world, and as a result, they can be very naive in some areas of life, particularly relating to some other people, and I think that she's got some bias about this attorney. Um, I I don't know. My gut feeling as an older woman, I think that she either has a crush on him, had a crush on him, or maybe they were intimate at one time in her life. He was a family lawyer. I don't know. I didn't ask any of those questions. It just doesn't. It doesn't add up. Oh no, I've called. No, she's definitely there. Oh, she's definitely there. Like I've spoken to the legal team. Um, I've spoken to her. I have a phone to call. I have the phone number to call her. I'm not the only one that has spoken to her. Some of my subscribers have called her. Eden's Living TV, who lives in Alabama, has spoken to her. I don't know about that. I don't know. It's certainly with this program, I wouldn't put it past, anything. I don't even know. But I mean, generally, it generally wasn't me calling, although I have return calls. But normally, I would receive a call from her, and you could hear on the phone where she's getting interrupted. Somebody's got to use the phone and stuff. When it comes to being a targeted person, anything is possible. They like to play so many games. Like I don't know what they did to me, but it's been like about 2 weeks. I have a rash on my thigh, on the back of my thigh. I have no idea where it came from. I don't know if it's that they're hitting me with the energy weapons. I mean, I'm always wear long pants. I don't know if they darted me with something and I have an allergic reaction. Do the weird voices always come on when you go live or just sometimes? Oh, um, it's when I'm live, and I sometimes hear them on my cameras, my house cameras, the recording. Yeah, it's always on the live. And other people have said it sounds a little bit like V2K or like a bot, like recording. It's to interfere with the chat. Like I can't hear it. I can only hear it on the replay. Yes, yes. That's very possible. Walk inside. It's very, very possible because, I mean, like doing, even talking on this live or any YouTube creator that's speaking, they can mirror your language. Like they have interfered. They have changed my words in some of my videos. Yes, yes, and yes, yep. No, I agree. I agree. I agree with that. Hey, Zumi, who are you, man? Yeah, and you know, like when you're sleep deprived and I'm tired and so busy, you know, sometimes it's difficult to listen to the intuition, to drown out all the noise. Yes. And who thinks of this stuff? It's like they are addicted to chaos. It's so depraved. Like the amount of time that is wasted on these stupid skits. I mean, they could be making the world a better place, inventing things. Oh, that's a good point about battery. So I'll just read some of what you're saying, you know, for people that are listening or will listen to the chat later. So Walk in Silence says, this is revelation time. We are seeing that everything in this realm was always about our life force. Nisco says the battery stuff. It's in the Bible. They shall scatter the prey. And our family always has a handler that keeps tabs on them over the years. He shall worship a God that his fathers did not know, a God of forces. And yes, we are their prey. Well, that's why they're predators. When you pray, something listens to prey on us. They study us since birth and see how to maximally loosh us. Yes, if you love something, they come after exactly that, like your house, Lorraine. Yes. Well, I really don't love my house, actually. I like my house in New Jersey much better. I like the property here. The property is really pretty. But no, my house is too small here. It's not functional. Well, right. Well, look at what they did to the kittens. They killed 3 kittens. How do you kill kittens? They listen to your prayers and make sure they are not answered throughout your life. He shall not regard the desire of women. I take that to mean that not only that sexual stuff doesn't sway them, but they will trample on the sensitivities of women. No regard for the weaker sex. The trick is to never show attachment to anything so they don't come after it. Well, then that's a horrible thing for a married couple, people in relationships. Yep. The feminine is under the jurisdiction of the goddess, Mother Nature, and they hate her because they are not made of her. Many of the targets are women. I think it means that women will suffer like we're all suffering. They want to take out the women. I mean, look, they're even having these little baby stations where babies are being grown outside of the womb. I mean, it's in these fake wombs. Yes, yes, exactly. Look at what they do to kids. Why would we expect respect? Yep. Well, everybody, just a minute or so, I'm going to end the live stream. It's 1 a.m. here Eastern time. Yes, that's they already started targeting the children. They're doing it through the pharmacia. Oh, and you want to hear something? Oh my goodness. Now, some pet owners are medicating their dogs with Prozac because they bark too much, or because they're having attachment disorder when they leave the house. It's so crazy. Yes, they target men that have a sensitive intelligence side. That's what I've noticed in the community. Yes, that's exactly what I've noticed. Yep. So, yes. Well, in many cultures, they force a woman to hide her face and cover her body. And because the men don't want to be tempted by the woman's body or beauty or whatever. Yes, zombie dogs, exactly. It's horrible. I think it's absolutely disgusting that anybody would medicate a dog for that reason. There's something inherently wrong with that. But thank you everybody for joining in the live stream and for all of your great comments. I hope everybody has a great night. Elsie, welcome. $2,028, huh? Well, thank you so much for joining in, everybody. I really appreciate it. I look for I always look forward to your comments because it helps clarify things and you get a different perspective. Well, thank you, moderators. I appreciate you guys. I hope everybody has a good night. And I'm going to end the chat now. And we'll talk to you guys during the week. Good night, everybody. Good night. Good night. Yes, a prayer. Yes, pray for peace and peace in the world. There's so much going on in the world right now. Like our individual targeting is one thing, but these people don't realize that. I mean, the world is in chaos, and it's going to affect everybody. So yes, thank you so much, everybody. Good night. And thank you all for joining in and hitting the thumbs up. And we'll get the message out there about what's happening. Wake people up.